Hello everybody, it's time for another brew day, and this one's going to be a clone brew of Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. So, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, what is there to say really, apart from it's a stone cold classic beer. It's one of the first, craft ales that came out in America and started off the whole, craft beer revival over there that's spread out to the rest of the world since then. It's a very simple beer, just lots of Cascade hops, pale malt, bit of crystal, but done really well. I've got a lot of respect for Sierra Nevada as a brewery. Still, exporting rather than brewing it out on license. Bottle conditioning the beer still, sticking to their principles in terms of how the beer's brewed, still using whole cone hops and all that sort of stuff. So, it's easy to overlook it nowadays with all the exciting new hops that are out and all the different types of beer that have followed on from Sierra Nevada and what they've done, but it's still a benchmark. It's a benchmark US Pale Ale. So I think the first time that I drank Sierra Nevada was probably one of the first really hoppy sort of craft beers that I ever tried, being a basically a dedicated lager drinker prior to that. And I think probably the first time I tried it, I couldn't, it was a bit much for me. I couldn't take that much flavour in a beer. I was used to drinking just piss water basically. But once you educated your palate a little bit to what good beer really tasted like, it's one of those ones that has always been there as a like I said, a benchmark for everything else that's come since, and it still stands up as far as I'm concerned. So that's enough of me sort of blithering on about Sierra Nevada Pale Ale and why I think it's a good beer to start with and why it's a beer that's worthy of doing a clone or a tribute brew to. Having been around for so long and being such a popular beer, there are a shitload of recipes out there for it, but like I said, it's a fairly simple beer, and most of the recipes are pretty much along the same lines of lots of late Cascade, bittering hops with Magnum and Pearl, and just a little bit of pale and crystal malt going in there. So I had a look through the various recipes that are available, and it turns out that Sierra Nevada themselves are actually one of those slightly more enlightened breweries. Another reason why I rate them, in the sense that they give out recipes. Now, their website states what all the hops are: Magnum, Pearl, Cascade. They give you starting gravity, ABV and IBUs. But they also have, which I'll stick up on the screen now, a 5-gallon homebrew recipe for the beer, which states 92% two-row pale malt, 8% caramel malt, 60 Lovibond, so basically a sort of medium crystal malt there, and then using whole cone hops, which is one thing that seems to be a consensus on, that they do still use whole cone hops, and they obviously state that as well on their recipe here. You've got half an ounce of Magnum, half an ounce of Pearl, both going in at 60 minutes, and then you've got 2 ounces of your Cascade at 30 minutes and another 2 ounces of Cascade at flame out. So no dry hops, which again, some of the other recipes online you'll see do have dry hopping, but it seems to be agreed with a lot of the other recipes that there are no dry hops in it. So there is the recipe. I did put that into Beersmith and had a look at it, and the numbers didn't quite come out right for me. I don't know whether that's just down to the different sort of alpha acid numbers for the hops that would have been used in their version or not, but basically it came out a lot more bitter based on their recipe. So I moved things around a little bit. I'll put the recipe up on the screen and show you what I came up with. I ended up going with keeping the Magnum at 60 minutes, and the Pearl hops I moved up to 30 minutes rather than at 60 minutes, and I then also moved the 30-minute cascades up to 15 minutes, so that just brought down the IBUs closer to 38, which was where I wanted it, according to their own numbers on the website. And in the end I had to slightly mix up the use of whole cone and pellet hops because I didn't have enough whole cone or leaf hops to do all of them, or all of the cascade anyway, as leaf hops. So I've got pellet hops for the bittering hops, Magnum and Pearl, and the cascade it was about half and half leaf hops and pellet hops. So that's it, and yeah, otherwise it was as per the recipe. Oh yeah, I did actually have to sub in some Crystal 75 for some of the 60 because I didn't have enough of that either, so the colour may come out a little bit darker, but other than that it should be fairly close. I mean, the numbers match up, the hop schedule is slightly different, but overall it's pretty close to the recipe as they've given it themselves, and that obviously also matches up to a lot of the other recipes that are out there. So I think as long as you know, have a fairly simple grist, pale malt, a bit of medium crystal, lots of cascade late on, and some you know, bittering to get you up to 38 IBUs, you're going to be in the ballpark for the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. We'll see how close it comes out once it's brewed up, but that's the recipe, so let's get on to some Brewday footage.
I'm the dude. So that's what you call me, you know? That or his dudeness or Duder or, you know, El Duderino.